Happy morning, children. Today we'll study about permanent methods of contraception. As the name suggests, permanent methods of contraception are the methods which are not used to space the children. Rather, these could be used when a couple doesn't want any children. Why? Because their reversibility is very poor. Okay, now these permanent methods of contraception or surgical methods of contraception could be of two types: vasectomy in males, tubectomy in females. So what is vasectomy? Vasectomy is the technique where the tube carrying the sperm, the vasa deferens, is cut and tight. Likewise, in case of tubectomy, the fallopian tube carrying the ova is cut and tight. Right. So, what is the principle behind surgical methods of contraception? They block the gamete transport, sperm transport as well as ova transport. And this is how they work. Right. So, these methods of contraception are irreversible, or their reversibility is very poor, so they should be adopted only when a couple does not want any child. Right. Now there are so many contraceptive devices, right, but a couple should always choose a method only after consultation with a qualified medical professional or practitioner. Okay, and another important thing that these contraceptives are not regular requirements for the maintenance of reproductive health. Okay, why? Because they are practiced against the natural reproductive event, they are practiced against conception, they are practiced against pregnancy. But then also a couple uses it. Why? Either to prevent pregnancy or to delay pregnancy or to space pregnancy, right? But in most of the cases, these, and one more thing, that these have played a very big role in controlling population. Okay, so a couple has to use these contraceptive device, but they have some ill effects like nausea, a feeling preceding vomiting, the uncomfortness which we feel before vomiting is nausea, abdominal pain, breakthrough bleeding, excessive bleeding, irregular menstrual cycle, or they may even cause breast cancer. Right? So that is why before the selection of a contraceptive device, a couple must consult a doctor. Okay. Now there is another term related to it, is medical termination of pregnancy. In short, it is MTP. Medical termination of pregnancy is intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term. Right? A fetus is being destroyed, is being killed willingly, voluntarily by professionals before its full maturity. Right? Now this MTP, why is it done? The answer is only one, that is to get rid of unwanted pregnancy. And this unwanted pregnancy could be due to casual unprotected sexual intercourse, due to rape cases. Okay, it may be due to failure of contraceptive during sexual intercourse, during coitus. Okay, or when pregnancy can be harmful or fatal to the mother, fetus, or both. So in these cases, a couple is forced to go for MTP. It becomes necessary. Okay, but this MTP has certain limitations. Very first limitation, This MTP is safe only during first trimester up to 12 weeks. After that, it could be dangerous for mother as well as the fetus. Fetus actually is being aborted, so it cannot be dangerous. That is always the other side. Actually, it could be harmful for the mother. Right. Secondly, this MTP is misused to abort the normal female fetuses. Most of the time, actually, our society is like that everybody wants a male child. So whenever the lady is pregnant, the couple wants to know the sex, and more often if the sex is found to be female, then they get the child aborted, right? Secondly, majority of MTPs are performed illegally by unqualified quacks, and so they are fatal. Unqualified quacks means unqualified person who pretend to be a doctor, who pretend to be qualified, but actually they are not. So they are fatal, and these MTPs has raised many emotional, ethical, religious and social issues. Right? Now, another important topic included in this chapter is STD, sexually transmitted diseases. And as the name suggests, these are the diseases which are transferred through sexual intercourse from an infected person to a healthy person. Examples of sexually transmitted diseases: gonorrhea, syphilis, AIDS, hepatitis, herpes, etc. Right? And these are caused by microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, protozoa, fungi, nematodes, the roundworms, etc. Right? As we know that HIV/AIDS is a viral disease. Syphilis, gonorrhea, these are bacterial diseases. Okay, so causal organism could belong to any of these categories. Mode of transmission: these spread through sexual intercourse with an infected person. Most of the time, most of the diseases spread during sexual intercourse with infected person. Some even spread through sharing of injections, needles, surgical instruments, etc. Some even spread through blood transfusion, and some spread from an infected mother to fetus. In fact, AIDS, hepatitis, genital warts, these are the diseases which may spread, not genital warts, sorry, AIDS, hepatitis B, these can even spread through sharing of infected needles, surgical instruments, blood transfusion, and from infected mother to fetus. Okay, in addition to sexual intercourse with infected person, right? Symptoms include itching, fluid discharge, slight pain in the reproductive parts, swellings, okay, where in the genital region. Okay, now what is the main problem associated with sexually transmitted diseases? That if a person has these type of symptoms, itching in the reproductive part, or there is some sort of fluid discharge, or there is a swelling in the genital region, then they feel hesitation in consulting a doctor. Right? They will first of all go for some homemade remedies, right? But they avoid going to a doctor, and this actually makes the condition more serious, right? So what could be the consequences of delayed treatment? There could be PID, pelvic inflammatory diseases, that is inflammation of reproductive part in case of females. It could even lead to abortions. It could even lead to stillbirth. The fetus may die after 20 weeks of pregnancy anytime before it attains maturity, right? Or it may even lead to ectopic pregnancy. What is meant by ectopic pregnancy? Ectopic pregnancy means the fetus starts to develop in any other part of the reproductive organ, right? Like a fetus will start to develop in the fallopian tube, or it may get implanted in the cervix. So in all these cases, that fetus is going to be aborted naturally, right? It may even lead to infertility or cancer of reproductive tract, right? Now, in spite of all this, the main problem associated in our country or is that still many of the couple are not having child. So inability of a couple to produce children in spite of unprotected sexual cohabitation is called infertility. If a couple is living together for a long time, right, and the couple is not using any contraceptive method, and then also if the couple is unable to have a child, then this condition is called as infertility, right? So the reasons for infertility could be physical, could be congenital, by birth, could be due to some disease, could be because of use of drugs, could be psychological also. And in India, more often the female is blamed for the couple being childless, but most often the problem lies in the male partner. फीमेल को दोष दिया जाता है बच्चा नहीं होने के लिए या लड़की पैदा होने के लिए, बट एक्चुअली फीमेल का कोई दोष नहीं होता है. Most often the problem lies with the male child, right? So specialized health care units, infertility clinics are there which could help a couple in diagnosis and in the treatment of some of these disorders and could help them to have children. But if such corrections are not possible in infertility clinics, then the couple could be assisted. They should go through certain special techniques called as assisted reproductive technology. अगर इनफर्टिलिटी क्लिनिक एक कपल को हेल्प नहीं कर पा रहा है, मतलब उसको कुछ और हेल्प चाहिए, राइट? एंड व्हाट इज दिस other type of help? That is assisted reproductive technology. And this assisted reproductive technology includes different methods like test tube baby, artificial insemination, gamete intrafallopian transfer, intracytoplasmic sperm injection, right? So starting with the first method included under ART, assisted reproductive technology, that is test tube baby, right? नाम से ऐसा लग रहा है कि बेबी कहाँ प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, तो टेस्ट ट्यूब के अंदर, बट एक्चुअली दिस वर्ड इज अ मिसनॉमर, इज मिसलीडिंग वन. व्हाई? बिकॉज हियर ओनली द फ्यूजन ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल गैमेट is taking place outside the body in the test tube, right? So sperm is taken from the husband or donor, ovum is taken from the mother or donor, and it is being fertilized outside the body under simulated conditions to form a zygote. And such type of fertilization which takes place outside the body under artificial conditions is in vitro fertilization, right? Now, due to fertilization, due to fusion, a zygote is formed. the zygote very soon divides and forms 8 blastomeres, or it is called as early embryo. At the stage of 8 blastomere, this early embryo is transferred to fallopian tube, and this type of transfer is called as zygote intrafallopian transfer. In short, it is called as ZIFT, right? But if a zygote divides and reaches a stage more than 8 blastomeres, अगर 8 blastomeres से ज़्यादा की स्टेज में वो पहुंच जाएगा, then it is being transferred into the uterus, and then the technique is called as IUT, intrauterine transfer. So formation of test tube baby involves two main steps: in vitro fertilization, that is fusion of sperm and ova outside the body in the lab, right? And then embryo transfer, and this embryo transfer could be of two types: ZIFT and IUT. ZIFT, when the early embryo has 8 blastomeres, then it is implanted in the fallopian tube, and if it has more than 8 blastomeres, then it will be implanted in the uterus to complete its further development, right? Then another method included under ART is artificial insemination. Artificial insemination, what is it? The sperm is taken from donor or husband, and they are artificially introduced either into the vagina or the uterus of the female, right? Now, this artificial insemination is useful in those infertility cases where either male partner is unable to inseminate the female. Unable to inseminate the female means male has the problem like erection. Penis is not erecting, so it is unable to inseminate the female or discharge the sperm into the reproductive tract, or in the there is very less sperm count in the semen, right? So if these two are the conditions, then what could be the probable method? It could be artificial insemination, right? Second is GIFT. GIFT, what is the full form? Gamete intrafallopian transfer. It is different from ZIFT. ZIFT is zygote intrafallopian transfer, and GIFT is gamete. Here zygote is being transferred, here gamete is being transferred. So there is transfer of ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube of another female, right? Ovum or the female gamete is taken from a donor, and then it is transferred to the fallopian tube of a female. That means this technique is used for those cases where the female is unable to ovulate, or the eggs are not being produced by the female. Okay, next is ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. It is a technique where a sperm is directly injected into the ovum. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection, where sperm is directly injected into the ovum. It is being done with the help of micropipette, microinjection, etc. Right? And apart from all these things, we must not forget about surrogacy. So what is surrogacy? Surrogacy is a technique of having children where the zygote is developing inside the body of a third female, which only has to carry and let the fetus develop into her uterus, right? Because real mother cannot have the child, right? There is some problem in the uterus of the real mother, biological mother, so she cannot let the fetus develop into her uterus. In that case, a third female, a surrogate mother is there. You must have heard about the surrogacy cases with Shilpa Shetty and then this one, Abram, Shah Rukh Khan's sons, right? They all have taken birth through surrogacy. Okay, though options are many, all these techniques require extreme high precision handling by specialized professionals and expensive instrumentations. They are very costly. They require highly qualified medical practitioners. Moreover, these are not available everywhere in all the cities, right? So they are affordable only to a limited number of people. Got it? In addition to that, emotional, religious, social factors are also there, right? But in a country like India, there are so many orphan children. अनाथ बच्चे बहुत हैं हमारी कंट्री में, right? Who probably may not survive up to maturity due to the lack of proper care, right? So wouldn't it be better, क्या ये अच्छा नहीं होगा कि instead of going through such expensive techniques to have children, why not to adopt a child, an orphan child, right? The couples who are looking for the parenthood, why not? They have this option of adopting a child. It would be very, very good then, right? Okay, thank you, children.